All right, we are live, just getting set up here, guys. Thank you for being here. We have a incredible broadcast this evening, and happy Sunday. Come on in, and we got to talk a lot. What's going on here? Did Trump lose our trust? Man, what the hell is going on? Laughs, I know what's going on. Number one, Nacho Pancake. Fabian, what's happening? Appreciate you guys being here. Guys, kick back, get your popcorn, get your water, whatever you enjoy. We're going to have a good one today, about an hour. Hello, Janine. Always a pleasure. Janine, this is going to be a big one today, guys. Did Trump lose our trust? It's all over, guys, but what's going on in the media? Let me get some water. There's a couple things that we're going to talk about tonight. Number one is this. Did you lose your trust with Trump? Also, it's not too late. It's not too late for Trump to fix this. Well, how the hell can he fix this now? We have two fumbles now. Hello, French fries and onion rings. I just had some French fries a couple of days ago. Thank you. I'm going to give you, you're not going to hear this on any other podcast or broadcast. I promise you that. And you might hear it because I'm going to talk about it tonight. Welcome in, come on in and enjoy the show. We are on the desk. I think Trump needs to call me up. I think he might. Maribel, I don't think he's watching your show. Well, Donald Trump, come on in, Trump. Come on in, Donald Trump, because you need to hear what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to try to get Donald Trump trust back. How can we get his trust back? Well, you guys can guess in the chat. I don't know if anybody's going to get it, but there's one way that he can regroup everybody. Well, there's two ways, but I'm going to talk about the one way. We'll talk about the second way later on. A lot of stuff is happening. Yesterday, ladies and gentlemen, come on in. Trump tweeted, "Hello, Ozzy. Ozzy, that food looks so good. You made me so damn hungry. I went and put some hamburgers on the grill. Took care of the homeless once again. Thank you for being here. Mike, thank you." Okay. Yesterday, I was not happy. And I don't know, before I go any farther, my wife gets upset. If you can just hit the like button. Thank you so much. We hit a record 200, I believe, 62 subscribers on one live yesterday. Holy crap, that's amazing. That's all because of you great people. Thank you so very much. I'm just a man, speak my mind. Before you guys try to read me and think that I high five, fist bump, don't care for Trump, I do. But words are going to come out of me and people are going to think mixed feelings. I don't know, I've said this before, why MAGA people are not talking about this. Well, Tucker is. I'm going to try to get, you guys can laugh, I'm trying to get maybe Tucker. I'll probably have to go on his podcast. I like Tucker. I'm starting to like Tucker because he's now speaking out. Actually, Bill O'Reilly's speaking out. An ex-mob guy. My friends are speaking out. A lot of people are speaking out who are Trump supporters and MAGA. Guys, this is about two parties here. I'm going to get into this deep. So you better sit back, get your cigar, get whatever you want, because this is going to be a good one. I'm just going to read before we get more in here. Godfather's in the house. Trump is going to keep Pam Bondi around for now. I still think she's probably going to be history. I don't know when. My opinion. But stay with me. Now, my wife gave me a little advice on this live. I'm going to be very careful. I'm going to be calm. And she's just be careful what you say. Well, you know, guys, I'm what you see is what you get. Do I fumble the ball? Absolutely, I fumble the ball. I fumble the ball a lot. I'm human. But here's the go. Whoever encouraged Trump to not, and I'm going to tell you this. First of all, Trump firing Pam Bondi, he had to do it. Trump not firing Pam Bondi, he had to do it. He had to keep her on, guys. I know yesterday we were live and I said she must go. But as I digest this, he had no choice to keep her on. Because if he fired her the day after Bongino, hello everybody, come on in. If you're not up to date, most of you probably are, Bongino is not coming back. Kash Patel is coming back. The whole cabinet, Marco Rubio's upset, trust me. J.D. Vance is upset. I don't know, but Trump looks really tired. Guys, he looks tired and stressed. Here's what happened with this whole thing. Trump had so much on his plate. He's done so much in 6 months. Hate or love him. Let's start off with protecting our borders. Amazing job, right? He said in his campaign, we're going to pass the biggest bill to help out most Americans. God bless. Job well done. Even though I don't like everything in it, job well done. No tip or help out seniors. We are going to take the Iranian out. Take their nukes out. Wow, amazing. Well done, right? Done more than he says in 100 years. Yes. So his tweet yesterday, or his comment, everything was powerful. Don't get caught up. But here's his mistake. When he says, and I quote, no one cares about the Epstein files. What did I just say? No one cares about the Epstein files. Who in the hell in the right mind gave him that advice? Why didn't he call me up? Now you just fumbled the ball twice in 3 days. Huge mistake. I know a lot of you on here you're gonna hit me. Go ahead and hit me now. Go ahead and hit me. A lot of you don't care about the Epstein files. My wife behind me. But you know what Maribel cares about? Grandkids, kids, girls, women, justice. See, I don't care who's on that list. Please stay with me, guys. Hello, everybody. I'm Sal Capano. Thank you for coming in. If you want me to continue, let's see some likes go up there a little bit. I greatly appreciate it. I really do. I'm trying to get a point across. And the reason I'm putting this out there because I don't want a fair government. I want the system to change. I don't want it to be run by socialism because let me tell you something right now. People now have lost trust in Trump. People have lost their faith in government. People are sick of the Democrats. People are sick of the Bush and Clintons. People love Donald Trump. Not everybody on here. I'm speaking for a lot of us. Now we put our trust on somebody who's an amazing, and I still think he will. But now all of a sudden, he comes out and says nobody cares about the Epstein files when there's husbands and wives and grandfathers and people. Guys, there was big people on this island, and I'm going to tell you why he's not releasing the names. He doesn't have to release the names. He can call Sal Capano up. I will give him advice. All you need to do is say, ladies and gentlemen, we have information on the Epstein situation. I'm not talking about the prison, whether he committed suicide. Everybody said, we have information. What happened? He was not a lone wolf. There was other participants. He can do that. He can do that. And guess what? People are still going to be mad at him. You know who won't be upset at him? Sal Capano. You know who else won't be upset at him? MAGA. Because right now, if Trump continues in this direction and not thinking and putting out these comments, ladies and gentlemen, we will lose our system for our grandkids, our children, and everyone else. We put our trust on somebody who's not a politician. In my opinion, I'm speaking for me. I wanted somebody, finally, who was like, and for me, an independent, who put his pants on like me, and Richard, and Joe, and my wife, and Fabian. I know I'm not, when I name out names, I'm not saying you support Trump. We want somebody who's out there that was going to fight, even though we can agree and disagree. Somebody to give out hell, call out fake news, has a big mouth. He is blowing every bit of this. And I don't know who the hell in the right mind is telling him he should have came out yesterday. Before I go any farther, he can be saved. I know you guys are waiting, right? You guys take a guess. MAGA, anybody. I want everybody in the chat to take a guess on how he can end this Epstein. How can Epstein go away 90%, not 100? Take a guess. Thank you, laughs. How can these Epstein files go? How can our memory get away? There's one way. I want everybody to think about it. And it has to happen in 2 weeks. What can happen? And by the way, here's another mistake. Janine, thank you for putting it in there. He's saying Barack Obama. He's not saying he's on the list. He's calling out crooked Hillary. Yeah, we know all that. Okay, if that's the case, Donald Trump, if I start calling out people that possibly should have, well, then one, release them. I want everybody to think what I just said. If these people our opponent or his opponent or previous administration and leaders and wives and Republicans, why not? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to open it up and tell you. Why isn't CNN talking about it? I'm going to tell you why CNN and why Democrats aren't talking about it. You ready for this? I've talked about athletes and movie stars and other politicians. I'm going to tell you who's on there. You ready? My wife's looking at me. She's going to get mad. I can tell you who's on there. You ready? No, it's not Trump. It's people from Israel. Gosh darn it, I speak my truth. People from Iran. People from other nations. Italy. Ukraine. Other countries, people. And if he exposes that, we are all in big trouble. But, Mr. Trump, what you can do is say, I have information and I can speak on certain topics. And we should never come out and say that no one cares. Because no one means Republicans, MAGA, Democrats, white, black, and gay, and Latinos and hillbillies, and the list continues, don't care. Trump, I'm upset at you today. And a lot of people are. And I pushed for you, and my wife's behind me, and got you to win here in Nevada. I used all my power, and I still behind you, Trump. I got to tell you right now, Donald Trump, if you don't get your shit together soon, you will lose trust in a lot of people. I'm not in a good mood. And that's right, I let loose. No one cares. No one cares. Who the hell told him to say that? I'm sorry, guys. I'm just fed up right now. I'm really fed up. Now, I'm going to get into some deep stuff right here. Hold on one second here. Okay. So, okay, let me put this down. When he came out and he commented yesterday, I think what he should have did was wait till Monday, and he should have said, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to keep Pam Bondi. I think I like that. I mean, I think she probably should go, but the reason is if he lets her go, then that shows that people are lost trust in him 100%. Are you with me? If he says, I fired Bondi, then that means Bongino won. And nobody wins over Donald Trump. Nobody, right? I think I'm coming out cocky on that, but I'm not. Thank you, Maribel. If he would have said, Pam Bondi is now not with us, that was a total disaster. So I like that part. I do like he stands behind her. But what he should have never said was, nobody cares. And he should have followed up and saying, I have to get control of our party. He needs to say that. MAGA want to hear that. MAGA wants to hear that. Now here's how he can save everything. If I could think of this, I'm sure Donald Trump team could say this. Here's what he needs to do. Are you ready? Take a guess. How can this go away? When I say this goes away, guys, I'm going to read comments in a minute, guys. I know I'm missing a lot. Thank you for being here. And God bless America and God bless Donald Trump. I'm a little mad. I don't want us to ever forget how many, Maribel? 1,000? 1,000 children involved. So if anybody is on here, my hearts and prayers, because no kids. I don't care if it's Trump, a family member of mine, an uncle, or anybody. When you start messing around with children, you have a problem. You have a problem with me. I don't like it. So when I said it can go away, I don't mean we should keep their thoughts and prayers. But here's how he can kind of fix this. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a war going on right now. And that war has been going on since the Biden administration. By the way, the worst administration ever. I didn't change my feelings on that. Okay? I don't want people to read me the wrong way. I am a Trump supporter. I am doing this. I think a lot of people realize why I'm doing this. I care about you and your family and my family and America. It's never about the Biden administration. It's never about George Washington, Lincoln, Reagan, Clinton, or even Donald Trump. It's about us. And that's why. And I got to tell you right now, Fox is going to start changing, because right now, Fox people who watch Fox are pissed. And it's not their fault. Okay, it's the producer. But here's what he can do. I'm going to wait. See if you guys can guess. Take a good guess. I want somebody, let's see if somebody can get this. I tell you what, Maribel, if somebody guessed this, we're going to give out a couple things. How the hell, Ozzy says hello, Maribel. I want to see how can the Epstein files go away? Not the kids, not our prayers. How can it go away? Somebody take a guess. How can this go away? It's easy. Think about it. How can this go away? Well, some people will say, how about you stop talking about it, Sal? Okay. Maybe Joe Rogan, maybe Tucker Carlson, maybe all these MAGA. There's a way they can go away. Delete the file is a good guess, but think about how this can go away, guys. Because right now the files have been destroyed, right? And I wouldn't be surprised behind closed doors. I know a lot of these are going to blow your mind. I wouldn't be surprised that Barack Obama, Bill Clinton, Donald Trump, and a couple others have gotten together. I do not trust the government. Just when I thought I had trust on the greatest president ever, I lost trust. Who the hell can I trust anymore? I still trust Trump. I'm upset, guys. I'm just upset. I'm going to tell you how. It's going to blow your mind. If we turn that news on Wednesday, hello, everybody. Come on in. Thank you for the 35 likes. I know you're waiting. You guys are probably saying he's thinking about it. I want to see more come in. Ladies and gentlemen, what Trump needs to do, he needs to end the war that started in Russia and Ukraine under the Biden committee. He needs to talk to Putin and use all his power and all his strength and Marco Rubio and J.D. Vance and his best team ever and put that war on ceasefire. I don't care if it's for 6 months. If he does that this week, then the Epstein files, all news outlets, CNN, Anderson Cooper, Fox, me, everybody comes on. Whoa, he did, and he's done, now he's this amazing. What an amazing, oh, you're going to still have people trying to bring the Epstein out? It's gone. Never remember the kids involved, guys. Try not to say, that's what he needs to do. You're not going to hear this anywhere else. Thursday, by this week, he comes out and says, we have a ceasefire. Putin has agreed with Zelensky and myself. We have done it. We have done it. And then come out next week and say, by the way, thank you for your trust. And don't even go back to the Epstein files. Then guess what? We will win the midterms. When I say we, the American people will have the Republicans in. If he doesn't end the ceasefire and the war within 2 weeks, I'm going to look you guys in the camera right now. We will lose the midterms. 100,000%. We will lose the midterms. I'm sorry to say to my MAGA, we will lose it. The only way we wouldn't lose it, if there's no ceasefire and Trump doesn't talk more about this, the only other way we would not lose it if some Democrat out there just, right now they're actually demolished. I mean, right now the Democrat Party is just a total mess. But if they just did something totally, really bad, and something like that, then possibly. And I'm actually afraid of the 2028 right now on how we're going, because right now Elon Musk is going to get his wish. And I've said this yesterday on the live. Elon Musk is going to get his wish because people don't trust the Democrats anymore. Some of you do. People didn't really trust the Republicans. Stay with me. Who we trusted, Scooby, hello. Who we trusted was who? We trusted, when I say we, I'm not speaking for all of you, but a lot of us, we trusted MAGA. We made MAGA. We trusted somebody who was for America, Americans. Now we lost. At least I think so. I'm going to open up the comments here and read some comments. And I know a lot of people are going to be a little upset at me, and I'm sorry. But I am doing this because I love Donald Trump. I voted for him 3 times. Once he lost. I'm not going to get in why. I have trust. My wife knows. I vouch for him. I got flags Trump, Trump, Trump. I'm still a Trump supporter. But man, I am aggravated. I was aggravated, and I thought he was going to come out and do the right thing. And doing the right thing, whether he fired Pam Bondi or keeping on, that didn't upset me too much. What upset me is, again, if you're just coming in, no one cares. I don't like that words. I don't like them. But what do you guys think? What do you think? You think ending that war or ceasefire in Russia and Ukraine will just get the media attention and most of us off that subject and on to, oh my God, now we ended the war, more people are not dying anymore, a better economy, borders control, ICE, food, oil, everything I just said, everything he's done in 100, best president ever, he does that. He needs to watch my video right now, Donald Trump. I don't know who's giving you that advice. You're looking tired right now, Donald Trump. Please, Trump, somebody on Trump, share this video, guys. Somebody better. It's a simple thing. When Bill O'Reilly comes out, Bill O'Reilly sits in the committee on a desk like that. Trump has Bill come in. He asked Bill O'Reilly, he goes, what do I do about the Epstein files? And Bill goes, well, it's a very crucial situation. What do I do? He's asking Bill O'Reilly. Bill O'Reilly admitted this. He's the most biggest conservative there is. He said, well, you need to talk about it. He said, what about the names? That's up to you. And Trump did say, we were going to discuss this. He ran a campaign, my MAGA friends. He ran a campaign on Big Beautiful Bill. All that stuff he's done, A+, A+, A+. We will look into, unravel the Epstein files. What the hell happened? We have them. We don't have them. We might have them. We don't have them. There's names on the list. There's no names. Bill Clinton's on the list. No, he's not. Yes, he is. What's going on? What the hell's going on? You don't have to give us the details. We don't. And then Pam Bondi goes, how do I say this on YouTube, Maribel? Let's see how I can do this. I think I already said it. Okay. He doesn't have to give the details on those young children and those piece of crap men, because he wasn't alone. In the chat, you think Jeffrey Epstein molested all of them with no help? I don't want to hear anything. Just don't give me any names. Do you think Epstein was alone? Of course not, ladies and gentlemen. There was other people participating. No, he wasn't alone. No way. And that's it. People are losing trust on you, Trump. We love you. We like how you act. You don't act like anybody else. You act like yourself. I like him. But now he's fumbled the ball twice now in 3-4 days. And why did Pam Bondi say, well, we can't show you those horrific acts? We don't want to see that. Matter of fact, I don't even want to see him. Kristen C., thank you so much. Appreciate that $2 donation. Appreciate that. Help sponsoring. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that kind of stuff. No, parents don't want to see that. We have AI now. Take out this, that, whatever, and show these creeps. And by the way, Trump calls them creeps. I would call them something worse. I have no problem with that. Do you guys understand where I'm coming from yet? I have no problem with him calling creeps. I would have called him a lot worse. But show us. Show us body. Show us something. Here's the problem, ladies and gentlemen. John F. Kennedy, cover up. I don't believe in conspiracies. Cover up. Martin Luther King, cover up. Pandemic, my opinion, some of it, cover up. Donald Trump anniversary, assassination attempt, cover up. Why aren't we seeing that, Trump? Why aren't you out to see who else was involved? You expect us to believe that was a 20-year-old guy up on the roof? We know he shot him. That's true. You expect all of us to believe that too? Of course not. Government. I thought Trump wasn't part of that. I thought he wasn't. But then again, I think he has no choice because of all these people, other people in other countries. But ladies and gentlemen, he doesn't have to say Joe, John, Martin, Sal, Sam, Maria, Joe. He doesn't have to mention names. All he needs to say, we have a strong party. Have trust in Pam Bondi. Tell us the truth. Maybe she shouldn't present it that way. I would accept that. However, we have people. Unfortunately, at this present time, we cannot release them due to security reasons. That's it, Trump. That's all you have to do, my friend. Do it now, Trump, because guess what? You're losing people. You're losing trust. I know a lot of these are going to come in and say, who did he lose? He's the president. He can't be president anymore. I can tell you what he's going to lose. I want to win the midterms. I want Marco Rubio, J.D. Vance, or another strong candidate to run this nation. I don't want it to be socialism with AOC. I don't want it to be the guy from Cory Booker from Jersey. I don't want it to be Gavin Newsom. I don't want it to be none of those guys. I don't want to see our country be torn apart. We all go to the same doctor, same hospital, make the same amount of money, smoke the same cigar, drink the same tequila, go to the same school. Free, 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 free. We don't want that. Do you guys want that? Well then, Trump, get some sleep and call me up, seriously, or listen to Tucker. He's much bigger than I am. Gosh darn it. Read some comments here. My wife's saying, and we don't agree all the time. I'm going to get some water. All right, let's see who's in the house here. What's up, Tim? Who are you? I'm a nobody. I'm just a YouTube guy. Who are you? Trump is a liar. What's going on, Kristen C? Tim, what's going on? Welcome in the chat. Appreciate all the moderators on here. And yes, I am fired up. And we all should be fired up on this. We got more to worry about than this stuff right now. We need to stay focused. I'm very, very afraid of our future. Because I want Trump to hand it off. Excuse me. I want Trump, I'm drinking a little soda. Sorry. I want Trump to hand it off to the next candidate who's just as strong, if not stronger. The two names I mentioned, J.D. Vance or Marco Rubio. Or even, I don't know, a Kash Patel or somebody. I want him to continue the American way. Common sense way. Your way, ladies and gentlemen, our way. Everything he's done in those 6 months is perfectly done, except for this situation. I think Trump underestimated everything. What do you guys think about this? What do you think about this? Do you think that Trump got caught up so hard on taking out the nukes, the Iranian nukes, and it happened, right? Do you think he worked so hard on communicating with ICE, keeping our borders control, that he's brought all his attention on those things and, and making peace, and not in this order, guys, in Middle East, and, making peace with Israel, and I have a feeling it's worldwide peace, and bringing a lot of attention to the tariff tax. I'm with it, some of them are not, but do you think he just lost focus and underestimated the Epstein files? I think he really forgot about it, or maybe he figured it was gone. The Democrats, are you guys with me? The Democrats aren't bringing it up. CNN, the reporters aren't talking about it. Fox is not saying much. Clinton has not said much, right? Barack Obama, he's out having fun, working on I'm hearing that he's having marriage problems. I'm going on, and Biden, our prayers and thoughts are with him. He has the cancer and the worst administration ever. But, his mind, he was doing so much. Like I said yesterday, he was driving a Lamborghini, he went a little fast and he hit a bump. And I think he probably thought, you know what? I think we're okay with Epstein. It's been 5 years, 6 years. I think we're okay. And this is where I think sometimes when you're a little hyper, I'm not president. When you're a little hyper, he is a hyper man. Doesn't mean he's not smart. Oh, he's very smart. Doesn't mean he's not a businessman. Oh, he's great. Doesn't mean he's 4 steps ahead. But sometimes you take that 5th step ahead, and my friends, my Republicans, my MAGA, and my Democrats and independents, just sometimes it falls apart. And right now, in my opinion, it's falling apart for Donald J. Trump. And he can fix this. And the other way he can fix this, I'm open to the chat, but I just gave you one example, and that is getting this war ended in Russia and Ukraine. By the way, he didn't do it. I know he didn't do it. But go ahead and work on ending that. And just maybe, people will just relax on that, and it'll just kind of die out. And then we can go ahead and win the midterm. I say we. I'm speaking like all of us on here. So I shouldn't say we, but those who support Trump and the Trump administration and those who are MAGA, then just maybe we can hold on to those midterms. Otherwise, I've been right before, guys. I predicted a lot of this stuff with politics. We will not win the midterms. And more importantly, it can cause strength in the Democrat Party. And more importantly, it can cause strength on a third party, American party. You know, I just don't know. I don't know where Elon Musk is up his sleeve. I don't know who he wants. I don't even think he knows what the hell's going on. But for Elon Musk, with all the money he has and the power that he has, he very well can organize a third party. And you know what, guys? If that was already in 28 right now, approaching 28, holy shit, we might be looking at a third party. We might just be looking at a third party who doesn't hide anything. Now, I got to tell you guys, I am still behind Trump, and I trust Trump, and these things can be fixed, and I can be eating those words. I hope to God I can be eating my words tomorrow or next week. I would love to come on here and say yes, but it's not happening. He has said no more. We're not going to talk about who's on there. But then again, he's mentioning the Clintons. He's mentioning Barack Obama. He's mentioning other powerful names, attorneys. So he's already said that. See, that's another mistake. Am I right? Maybe I'm wrong on that. But isn't that a mistake too? Because now when you mention those names, well, you just call them out. Let's see them. Let's see the names. Let's see them. Let's see some documents. What happened? How come not one person, not Marco Rubio? I like Marco Rubio. I'm going to call him out. Not one person had the, sorry ladies, I don't cuss too much. Sorry, Maribel. Nobody had the balls to say, hey, Trump, sorry, Maribel. Nobody had the balls to say, Trump, I need to talk to you. Don't say no one cares on Epstein. Be careful with that. I would have. And I would have got fired. I don't care. Gosh darn it. What the hell happened? Who wrote that up for him? Did somebody trick him? I mean, I know I'm going a little cuckoo here, but I can't think of any reason why we say no one cares. Did anybody get that? I know a lot of people are busy, and God bless you on this Sunday, and I know a lot of people don't care, and that's fine. I really mean that. But did anybody else catch those words? Or am I the only one? I don't care. Everything was powerful in the beginning. I'm going to keep Pam Bondi. We have a great party. We've done more than any ministry. I loved all that. As MAGA, I loved it. Keep going, Trump. By the way, no one cares about the Epstein files. Where's my paper? I'm so heated right now. can't believe it. Upset. All right, let's continue. Let me try to relax a little bit. And the reason I'm mad is, I'm going to say it again. Let me look you in the camera. I love Donald Trump. I honestly think we finally had somebody who's like Italian. You know, like, tell it as it is guy. You know, we haven't had a president like this before. We had Ronald Reagan, who was very good. We had Bill Clinton, who was very good as a president. We had some other presidents, right? In modern history, you know, Washington, Lincoln, Roosevelt, and a lot of other ones, I'm sure. Great president, but nobody like this, guys. No one. And now we have a fumble, 2 fumbles in a row. He had a chance to redeem himself. I encourage everybody, take a deep breath tonight. Man, Trump really needs to watch this video. Or if he doesn't watch mine, Megyn Kelly, watch her. If he doesn't want to watch her, watch Tucker. If you don't want to watch Tucker, you better watch Hannity. Because Hannity, who loves Trump, what the hell happened to Trump? I don't know. All right. What's up, Good Time? Kyle, Ray, Prime. I appreciate all my loyal subscribers on here. I'm fired up. I apologize a little bit, but I try not to cuss too much. I'm just upset. And this has got me. This has really got me. RFK, yeah. You know, there is one more way that he can possibly help the midterms, or actually, forget the midterms, that he can help regain trust of MAGA. Now, I know a lot of these on here right now. I'm not speaking for all MAGA. Hold on, let me get closer to the camera. I am not speaking for all MAGA on here. I'm speaking for myself and a lot of the stations and friends and people that I know and relatives I'm speaking for. If he would come out on Monday or Tuesday, there's 2 ways actually. One would be ceasefire in Russia and Ukraine. Maybe. There is another way. How about a thorough investigation on his own assassination? Or twist it with John F. Kennedy. What happened with that, Pam Bondi? What happened with that? Oh, we're going to hear about John F. Kennedy files. They're going to come out. We're going to tell you what really happened. Well, yeah, the mob was involved. The Cubans were involved. Shit, make something up. I don't know. Mess that up too. Martin Luther King. Like Bill O'Reilly said. And Tucker. What happened with that? Martin Luther King, where's that at? And now the Epstein file. That's 3. Come out with John F. Kennedy and your own assassination. You might get some MAGA back, Donald Trump. What the hell happened? What happened? Who the hell is talking in his ear? Who's talking to him? I don't know. I don't know. No, he doesn't play checkers. He doesn't play checkers. I just hope that he gets back playing chess. Let's hope that he gets back on playing chess and outsmarting his opponents. Because right now, chess is not doing too well, in my opinion. And according to a lot of people out there that are Trump supporters, MAGA supporters. My goodness, there's even moderate Democrats that are just, people are just disappointed. You know, I think what I just said 35 minutes ago, why I'm upset and why so many people are upset is this. We finally had somebody who wasn't like government, you know, who's not afraid to call out the CIA, the FBI, the DOJ, someone who doesn't give a shit. I hope, Ozzy, I can very well be wrong. I'm not going to speak on Tucker and 500 other people, or I hope I'm wrong. I mean, I just don't think those words were the right words that most people wanted to hear yesterday on that. And most people who didn't hear it or read it have heard about it, not just on our broadcast, but I think people have heard this. People don't just watch Fox News. And by the way, Fox is all over it. People don't just watch CNN. People watch News Nation. People watch big channels and YouTube, and people talk now. It's wide open. So, I mean, it can be fixed. I gave you 2 reasons on how it can be fixed. Let me know another situation. Can somebody in the chat? I'm open. Can somebody give me a 3rd way that this can go away? That the 2 I didn't say. Now, I know a lot of people are coming in and confused what's going on a little bit. But how could, I think my title was, did Trump lose our trust? How could Trump gain trust back from us? Now, I say us. I'm not calling anybody out on here. I'm just using the term us. How can he gain a lot of trust back? Other than a ceasefire in Russia and Ukraine or his own assassination? How is there another way? I'm asking. I don't know. I don't know the answer. Yeah, Ozzy, and wow, Maribel, yes, Maribel said that too. And he's right, Ozzy. And whoa. I'm not contradicting myself. He's right, but then he's wrong because he's the president. He's got to be very careful on the words. Like I said, everything was strong. We need to go forward. I have no problem with that. We need to go forward. We need to be worried about our situations now. I have no problem with that. But when he starts to call out Clinton and crooked Hillary, we know about that. But when he starts to use those names, well, then you need to follow up with paper and shows. You see, because he wasn't calling them out because they were a horrible administration. He never said they were horrible. Well, Hillary wasn't administration, but her husband was. He wasn't calling them out like they were bad. He was making an example like, look at them. Basically, theoretically, what he was saying is, look at Bill Clinton, look at Barack Obama, look at some of these other people. Thank you, Mike, very, very much. He's actually, if you do that, then you need to follow up with this. So you've been better off not saying anything on that. So that was an error, not a fumble. And then to say no one cares, that was just terrible. And then, but yeah, he's trying to, he's again, in his mind, and I agree, we got a lot to worry about. I agree, everybody. Everything. We got to worry about our world, our borders. It's all important. Yes or no? That's all important. Yes or no? It's important, right? But what else is important? The people. People are talking about this. Not just Democrats. Actually, more Republicans and more MAGA are talking about it. If it was all Democrats talking about it, guess what? I still think you would acknowledge it, my opinion, but we're talking MAGA. People are talking about this. And it's not going to go away. And it doesn't help when you come out. He would have been better off saying, ladies and gentlemen, Pam Bondi is not going to lose her job over anything. And don't even use the words Epstein. And ladies and gentlemen, we are here going forward. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm your president. I thank you that I'm alive, and talk about the assassination. And if they asked a question about Bongino, I would have never even gave them a question, or I would have said, I don't know, we'll get that, something like that. No, I don't know. Anything but no one cares. Now, I could be making a bigger thing out of it, but I don't think so. I like to get inside the heads of everybody. I like to get inside of heads of the Republicans, MAGA, Democrats, and most importantly, Congress, Senate, and everything that's going on. But it's weird. And even Bill O'Reilly says that. And Bill knows him really well. Does everybody know who Bill O'Reilly is? Bill can't believe it. I don't think I ever heard Bill being so confused, like he shocked. Bill O'Reilly's shocked. Tucker Carlson's shocked. They're all shocked. Fox, everybody's shocked with this. You know why everybody's shocked? Everybody's mad? Because we don't want to go socialism. Can you imagine this mayor in New York? Well, he's not a mayor yet, sorry. He's a mayor candidate. But you imagine if someone like that moves up the ladder like AOC? You imagine if somebody moves up that powerful and all of a sudden, stay with me, and we all get old. I'm going to get old. And I'm talking like, 20 years from now. I mean, a lot of you say, well, who cares? But how about our kids or grand? And we get a president like that? Holy crap. That would be it. That's why I would say 90% of people are upset. Yes or no in the chat. I would say that's why. And those 10% are not upset. I don't know. I don't know. And I've been thinking about this for the last day now on how I was going to talk about this and so on and so forth, and why CNN and why isn't anybody on that side have talked about it. And that's why. Because it includes both sides. Now, when I say both sides, and I say Israel, I'm not calling out Netanyahu or whatever hell his name is. When I say both sides, let's say, well, I can't mention any names. Okay. When I say both sides, let's just say people on the Republican right and left were in Epstein Island. They were there. And they were having a beer, a Diet Coke, a water, a cigar. That doesn't mean they participated. And I would say, I would hope to think that if they were there, they did not. So let's just say for conversation purpose, we had a few on the left, a few on the right. And I know it's opposite on the live. If he calls out those names, well, then they would have to follow up. It would open up so much stuff. I get that. But again, he ran a campaign, and I quote, that we will let American people know exactly what happened, and then come out a few months later, we have a list, but now we got Pam Bondi. Pam Bondi goes, I have a list. Then she says, well, we're not sure. Then she says, well, and she tries to explain herself. And then Bongino gets in an argument. And by the way, that argument they had was not over a list. The argument from my sources were, she was mad because he was scheduled to go on something, and he was mad at her because she went on Fox. They were just mad on how they were handling it. It just doesn't look good when somebody leaves either. When Bongino, he's a MAGA. Let's not forget, Bongino's a MAGA. Here's another thing. Did anybody think of this? Bongino's not coming back. So Bongino starts his podcast Monday. Well, maybe Wednesday, because I heard I just heard from some sources his marriage right now, because he hasn't been around. Let's say by Wednesday he comes on. You think he's going to mention the list? Yes or no in the chat? Assuming Bongino doesn't come back. I don't think he will. Anything's possible, but he walked out. And by the way, Bongino from walking out, I'm a little aggravated at that. Okay, but let's get to the point. So he walks away. People say no. And he goes on his podcast. And he mentions anything on the list. Janine says yes. You think he will? You think so? What do you guys think? Janine says yes. Do you think Bongino will come out on his podcast and just... I don't think he would tear Trump up. I don't think he would go after Trump. But would he still talk? Would he talk about the list? I don't know. I'm asking. What do you think? I still trust Trump. Debbie says. God bless you, Debbie. And I do too, Debbie. I think you're with me. I think you know where I'm going with all this. It's not about, it's not about I'm still with Trump or I'm MAGA. It's about saving America. And I've said this a million times already. Chicken Nugget, how are you? It's about saving us and keeping us in the direction that we're going. I mean, we're going to hit some bumps. Mistakes are going to happen. But if Bongino comes out on a podcast and starts his podcast again this week, and he starts talking about a list, actually, that would really, if he did that, well, that would tell me right there, as I'm thinking about this, then he's lost. Then he's actually not a, well, I wouldn't say he's not a MAGA, but now he's pretty much, it's a slap on Trump's face. I don't know. A lot of stuff's going to happen, guys, in the next couple of days and weeks and months, unless Trump comes out and does the things I just said. What a mess! Wow, what a mess! A huge mess. All right, Chicken Nuggets in the house. Appreciate you guys being here. It is a huge mess. But yeah, I'm still with Trump, Debbie. I agree. And we'll hope for the best. I will pray for Trump. Yeah, absolutely. Me too. And I mean, what else? We know the other side is a total mess, right? We know that that's been, that was all butchered up and a whole nother big cover up on mental health and all that. That's the reason I'm doing this, is because I finally thought that and I still think we do, but it's just aggravating because I get so tired of the government and and the FBI and CS, all of them. They're all full of shit, and they get in there. And then these things happen. And there's another possibility too. I know a lot of YouTubers have talked about this. I'm just not convinced yet on this. But what's your thoughts, guys? I heard on a podcast, I'm not going to mention any names, good podcast, and they said the possibility of Jeffrey Epstein, that he was they were using him as a middleman, so to speak. So in other words, he was working and playing both sides, meaning he was playing the left, he was playing the right, he was playing other countries, and they were utilizing him as because this guy supposedly never even had a college education, and people can be very successful without a college education. That actually came out wrong, but he didn't. He just came in of all this money. He was worth. Can somebody, Lemon J, are you on here, Lemon J? Can somebody bring up what Jeffrey Epstein was worth? Jeffrey Epstein was worth how much? And all of us, let's say this, he had enough money to have his own island. And I wonder if he was just playing. I wonder, and there's some people say he was part of the, possibly a CIA. Yes, Ron, yes, CIA. Somebody said he could have been part of the CIA. Chicken Nugget, how are you? Could he have been a CIA? What do you think? Holy shit. I heard that too. Was he just playing us? I mean, how much money was he worth? Think about this. Did he just play both sides? 500 million, Ozzy. Thank you so much, Ozzy. 500 million. Wow. 600 million. So $600 million. Thank you, Lemon J. Ozzy. Holy shit. So he came into all that money playing both sides. Not just the Democrat, Republican. He was playing other countries too. Now, I don't believe in conspiracies, but it's a little weird. I did hear this from, I said this before, I don't know how true it is, but I know somebody I know very well that was in the same area of Jeffrey Epstein in that jail, and he is 100% that 100,000% that the mob at the time had 0% to do with that. And he was very confident that there was no committing suicide. In other words, there was nothing in that cell that he could have took his own life. So I've heard that because there was out there that maybe some bad guys got him, the mob and this and that, whatever. There was a friend of mine that no, not true. Not true. And I go way back. Anyhow, and there was no evidence at all. Now, about that minute that's missing, that's a whole nother game. I didn't get into that. You notice that? Because I'm more worried about the kids. See, that's what's got me ticked, guys. It is the kids. It really is. And the families and that kind of stuff. And that's why I'm calming down now a little bit. Thank you, right? That's why I'm so broken up on this, is because when he says no one cares, I think if Trump, I'm sure Trump regrets that. I personally think, my opinion, Trump did not write that up. I believe somebody had to help him out because his mind, guys, he's human. He's human, right? He is human. Let's never forget that. And his mind is on so much other things right now. I truly think he just, in his mind, I don't think it's that important at the moment. And there's other things important, which is true. But whoever said no one, see those words no one still get me. I'm trying to see how I can get rid of it, but I can't. My question, who covered up this while it was happening? That's another great comment, Ozzy. Yeah. Again, I think Trump, as he's a hothead, I think for him to call out those names, my wife gets upset, not because she gives a crap about those names. Well, I guess I could say it. It's written, it's out there, right? When he calls out former President, the Clintons and Barack Obama. Let me say this. He's not saying, I quote, they participated. I think he means like it was on their desk. You know, it was around them, Ozzy, right? The Bill Clinton, the Hillary Clinton, the Barack Obamas, and that kind of stuff. You know, both sides, the Democrat, Republicans are hiding something. Both are hiding something, and that's why I'm so mad at Trump, because I figure, well, Trump, you're not part of that. You separated from that. You are running with the R, the Republican, but you are an independent. I've always felt that way. You guys feel that way? That Trump is an independent, just with the Republican behind him? I've always felt that he was the third party. You just heard it here live on our station here. When Elon says third party, I really believe Trump did the third party. I think that's why MAGA is pissed off. Some. I say MAGA. I don't mean all yous. See, so he ran to change all this, but now he's not letting it out. And that's a problem. I don't know what he can do now to fix it. As I said, he can have a ceasefire with Russia and Ukraine, right? It can end up, if that does it, that will eliminate the big news. And the big news would be, he did it. He stopped the war. That would be good. And that would kind of bury this. No disrespect. My prayers and thoughts are with the parents and children. And that should never, ever be forgotten. But at least let MAGA and American people on both sides kind of like dissolve it, and now another story comes up. Or unravel his own assassination, but what other way? What else can he do? Knowing Trump like we all know him, if he came out tomorrow and said, apologize, presidents don't apologize. Trump would never apologize. What else can he do? Could he be playing chess like Ozzy alluded to 15 minutes ago? Could he be playing chess. You know, got a couple palms taken from him, right? And now he's setting it up, and all of a sudden comes out on Thursday. I would love to come on and say, wow, and say Pam Bondi is fired. And fire her. And fire her. And put Dan Bongino in? Would that quiet it? I'm just saying, yes or no in the chat. Unlikely, but could that make things better? How's that? I'm trying to think of the right words. Can that make things better? So what I just said was to fire Pam Bondi. Possible? Possible. Possible. Fire Pam Bondi Thursday. I'm just saying Thursday. I don't know. Next Thursday. Has to happen quick. Thursday. He fires Pam Bondi. Or better yet, put Judge Jeanine. Put Judge Jeanine as the Attorney General. She's not that old. She's actually attractive looking. She's pretty. But anyhow, put Judge Jeanine in that position. I'm just wondering. Think about that. Put Judge Jeanine, because you know what my Dan Bongino's Italian, but you know what? I like him and all. But you don't not show up to work. I've never missed, unless I had COVID. I'm always going to work. Anyhow, let's get back to that. So maybe if he puts Bongino into the Attorney General, now you don't want to do that, right? Now you can't do that. Judge Jeanine. Oh, put her in. She's a badass. Don't take no shit. And then fire Pam Bondi, and then maybe that'll go. Maybe that'll quiet everything. I still like ceasefire, and that can happen. The ceasefire can happen. She's a pit bull. What's up, Scott? She's a pit bull, boy. I like her. What is she? It doesn't matter what she is. I think she's Lebanese. She's like an Italian, though, boy. So that's another. I just thought that's another possibility. Anybody else have a way that Trump can regain some of our trust back? Sal, I didn't lose his trust. I'm just saying some. You don't have to mention anything. But he can gain some trust back by putting on Judge Jeanine. I'm just throwing her name out there. He should. You know, I know that Trump watches Fox a lot, and I know he watches Tucker. And Tucker didn't say what I'm saying. I'm going, well, I'm not Tucker. You know, I'm much bigger than Tucker. No disrespect to you, Tucker Carlson. You know, Tucker Carlson, nobody's really calling Trump out. I'm not calling Trump out. But Tucker Carlson did good. See, I think Tucker needs to get me. I think Trump needs to listen. He really does. But then again, I don't know. Trump has got one way, or he thinks one way. Tucker made a great point. Yeah, the only thing about Tucker, he laughs like a girl. But I like him. I have a big nose. I'm loud. Obnoxious sometimes. Nobody's perfect, guys. Nobody's perfect. But I'm not the president. Tucker's not the president. Trump's the president. See, that's what we got to remember. So, I don't know if there's any other way that he could possibly gain trust back from MAGA. I just don't know. I'm trying to think. Welcome in, everybody. I appreciate this. 160 likes. I appreciate it. Hopefully everybody had a great weekend, and those who are going back to work tomorrow, have a great work week. I'm going to stay on for a little bit more to read some more comments. I'm hoping, if you're just coming in late, that that we can go away with this, and always keep the thoughts and prayers with the children affected, and never forget as long as we live and our minds are well. But hopefully this story can just kind of like, possibly go another direction, but I don't know if the people are going to let it. Thank you, Mike, so much for being here for this hour. Appreciate it. And Lemon J, Janine, Fabian was in here. Thank you, Fabian. I don't know if Fabian's still here. Thank you, moderators, and Ozzy, and all my little subscribers. Chicken Nuggets, Richard, my wife. Thank you, Jason. I appreciate that. Appreciate it. I appreciate all new subscribe. Now, if you're new to the channel and you enjoy this, like and subscribe. I've been following Trump for a very, very long time. Again, I voted for him 3 times. Most of the time, I'm real high on Trump, but I'm not afraid to discuss a fumble. Yeah, exactly, Ozzy. See, another problem is this with Trump and all presidents. He will never come on and say, I apologize. But what he could say is he can write something back up, but he couldn't do it tomorrow. It would look too obvious. He would have to do it Thursday. I don't know if he would. Yes or no? You think Trump, are you in the chat? Let me get some, I need water. What do you guys think in the chat? Do you think he can tweet? I don't like tweets, by the way. I don't like any tweets from anybody, but I'm old. What if he came on? You think if he comes on Tuesday around 6 o'clock East Coast time, or 8 o'clock, let's say 8 o'clock, and comes on and words it up a different way, you think it would help? Could he possibly word it up another way? He can't apologize, right? But can he come out and just say something on the Epstein? It has to be just Epstein, though. He couldn't come on and talk about Texas floods and then have the questions come in on Epstein. He would have to have a topic. It would have to be 15 minutes. And I would allow every reporter in. I would want more reporters than less. And I would go around as much as I could, but I would keep it limited to 15, 20 minutes. And make sure Peter Doocy was in there. Peter Doocy must be in there. And have something made up very quick from his heart, and remember, and possibly just use other words, but don't apologize. He possibly can gain trust back. Possibly. What do you think? Could he? Let's see here. Thomas says Bondi is doing what Trump is telling her to. Trump is a real president. Debbie Farron. Ozzy follows up, and I'm sure they have been threatened. Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, it's much bigger than a lot of us are talking about. But I think a lot of it, what I said is, I would say 70% accurate on both sides of the. There is no doubt in my mind that Democrats and Republicans were involved in a sense. They were at the Epstein Island, okay, allegedly. Now, participating, I don't know. And you can't tell me there wasn't somebody from the Middle East, Israel. You can't tell me there wasn't other country people going to Epstein Island. People were curious. What the hell's going on? But then you had the other people that, just because you're curious doesn't mean you committed a crime, right? But then you did have, I'll just say creeps, because Trump said creeps participating. Debbie says, I am not ever giving up on Trump. And my wife says the same thing, Debbie, and many others do, and I'm not either, but I am upset. I'm very, very upset. And a lot of MAGA are. But yeah, I mean, I just don't know if Trump could possibly come on television. I guess he could write. See, if he wrote something up again, Now, he can't write it up. It has to be in person. He has to come out on Fox. See, if he goes with Hannity, that doesn't help because only a certain amount of people are going to watch Hannity and Fox. And he can't go on CNN. He won't go on CNN. It's fake. So he would need to do it from the Oval Office. I would like to see him do it outside. I don't know. He has to, maybe right here, like I'm doing it. You know, at the meeting table. Maybe just do it here, like this. Would that gain some trust back? It would gain my trust back, 100%. He has to go on Joe Rogan. HS, thanks for, yeah. The problem with that is, and Joe Rogan's really good. The problem with that is, there's some 75-year-olds, 75 years young, who don't watch Joe Rogan. You know what I mean? And I think they're saying that, I think you got to hit all of us from 18 to 140 years old. I mean, you got to hit all. So Joe Rogan would work. But I think he would I think in front of the White House or in the Oval Office or on a desk, like inside the White House would be better. Mustang Mike, how are you? In my opinion. That's just my opinion, guys. So, Joe Rogan would work, but I want to make sure everybody would, you know, not everybody knows about Joe Rogan. That's the problem. A lot of people know, but not everybody. So. Janine, let's see here. Janine Major, how are you, Janine? He never lost my trust. Much love to our President Trump with the Purple Hearts. Well, thank you for sharing that. That's good to know. That's good to know that at least on here, lots of people are still with Trump. That's good. It is good. I actually like to see that for many ways. He will interview with Megan. Megan could be good. Could be. Hannity, no, because they know they're tight. Megyn Kelly, yes, possible. Possible. Somebody says, I like Trump. What was that? Before he got into politics? Before he got into politics. Oh, interesting. Thank you for sharing that. Bad look. Only being 6 months in. J-Rec, how are you? Thank you for your comment. Now, let us know if you're new to the channel, and if you subscribe, we appreciate it, and welcome in. Now, I want to mention this real quick. Thank you so much for being here. My wife gets upset. At the end of the day, we do, when we can, we help out the homeless with likes and subscribing, and we greatly appreciate it. That's our main focus on right now. And speaking of which, I hope that at some point Trump can, man, it sounds like I'm being hard on Trump tonight, right? But hopefully the administration of Trump could also do more for the homelessness that's happening around this world. But let's continue with this. Hold on, let me go back to that comment there. That was from Janine Major. It needs to be somebody intelligent with a cool head. Yeah, I mean, Joe Rogan would work. But again, what I just said, not everybody, there's a lot of people that are up there in age and just don't use YouTube or Facebook, right? That's the problem I have with Joe Rogan. All right. I just think he should just come out on Tuesday or Wednesday this week just for 20 minutes and address the nation. Como. Now that could work. That could work because Como on Newsmax has now become, quote unquote, if you listen to him, he still sounds like a moderate Democrat, but he is now open-minded Of course, some of it is because he's got to pay his bills. I wasn't a big fan of him before. I'm still not a big fan, but he is calm as far as an Italian goes. And a lot of people like him. And it's Newsmax. And I would probably put Bill O'Reilly on there and Stephen A. Smith. He is smart. Yeah, he is very smart. Ozzy, you were right. Well, we think a lot, man. Yeah. What do you think about having on Newsmax with Como and having Bill O'Reilly and Stephen A. Smith on? Or is that getting too much? And having them two asking questions. You know, of course, they'll have to rehearse. Stephen, you can ask 2 questions. Bill, you ask 2 questions. Como, you ask 3 questions. You know what? Ozzy, that would definitely work. I really like that one. I like that one a lot. That might work because it's a down the middle station. I know a lot of you think it's not, but I think they're pretty fair. That could end this. Deborah, how are you, Deborah? Good to see you on here. We love Trump. Yes, we do. Deborah, if you're just coming in, I love Trump, and that's why, I don't know how long you've been here, but I love him, and that's why I'm a little pissed off, because I still support him, and he's done so much, and in my eyes, I'm still hoping that he's not like any other president, and he's not. He's unique, he's smart, he's fast, and he might have been a little too fast, and they underestimated this, and I want him to not so much him doing well, I want him to save us, and he is saving our ass, but I want him to hand out the torch, push it on to the next president who's working close to him, like Marco Rubio, or I don't know, you guys can name somebody else, maybe DeSantis, I don't know, maybe but it's not going to be able to hand it off if we continue with these fumbles. You can't have fumbles. I love the word fumble. You can't have fumbles. You could have a incomplete pass in football. You could throw the football and be incomplete. You could even strike out once. But when you fumble the ball twice, and they fumbled it twice. Yeah. But so did the Philadelphia Eagles. They fumbled the ball, and the Philadelphia Eagles won the Super Bowl. So, but it's just about winning America is what I should say. So thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah. Interesting though, guys. It's a real interesting topic right now. If you're coming in, we were just discussing on how Donald Trump can regain the trust of the American people. Sherry, how are you, Sherry? And we were just discussing on how, and one would be to go on Newsmax and with Como, and I added in Bill O'Reilly or Stephen A. Smith, works for ESPN, and not to apologize because presidents don't apologize, but to come out. And what we're discussing, if you're coming in late to our live, was this. Trump came out with a comment yesterday in naming Bill Clinton, crooked Hillary, Russia. See, mentioning other names. Again, he didn't mention they participated in the Epstein, but, where were they at and what happened there, which was okay. But then had nothing to back it up and saying Pam Bondi's with us. And the reason he didn't fire her, the number one reason is because if he fired her, then that absolutely shows no trust in him, because now he's admitting that Bongino is correct or whatever happened, and that actually we are correct. When you fire somebody who says we don't have anything on the file after she said, yes, we do, no, we don't, maybe we do, Now we don't, right? That makes, if he fires her, that shows that he was wrong. And the president's never wrong. See, that's why she's still with us. But in my opinion, how this can go away, if you're coming in, is to stop the war with Russia and Ukraine and have a ceasefire. That would be the best possibly way for this to go to sleep. And it should never go to sleep if you're coming in and you had kids involved in these. We should never ever forget any of this. I actually think this is worse than Diddy. In the chat, yes or no, is this worse? Is the Diddy worse than, is the Epstein files and this, both involving kids, worse than Diddy? I think so. I think so. And if you're just coming in, that's what we're discussing here on how Trump can somehow get himself out of this mess. Somebody says it's worse than Diddy. Yes, way worse than Diddy. Joseph says worse. Both horrific, Deborah says. Janine says yes. Trump is always guilty, somebody says. Cindy says hi. And yes, yes, yes. Right. I think it's worse. Absolutely. They're the same. Sherry says yes. I agree. I love Trump. So do I, CS. Yes. Worse than Diddy, somebody says. Yeah. Yeah. Playboy Mansion was better. Yeah. So a lot of people feel that this was worse than Diddy. Both are bad. Richard, thank you for being here. If I forgot you earlier, and thank you for that decision you just made there. Thank you so much. I hope people understand me on this live. And Joe, how are you? God bless you. I hear you. And don't you think you came on to a channel, because sometimes we hear what we want to hear. I hope most of you who's been here from the beginning realize I am a Trump supporter and I have faith in Trump. And yes, Debbie, I am still behind him. Laughs, I love that. And I'm still trusting Trump because, where else are we going to do? We can't trust the Democrats. I don't trust any other Republican right now except for some of the people he has with him. Some. And let me just tell you this, guys. You ready for this? What is today? Is today July 13th, 25? Remember me saying this, and I said this before. Elon's gone. Bongino's not coming back. Kash Patel now is coming back, was pissed. Pam Bondi's with us, although he could still fire her. I'm not going to be surprised in another month. I said this before, that somebody betrays him or somebody else gets in some mess. Whether it's, Epstein files or JFK files or tariff tax or something in a peace in the Middle East, or somebody just does this. So I wouldn't be surprised. You heard it here first. And I'm going to call it in less than a month. I'm not going to give out any name. I would be very surprised if it's Marco or JD. I can almost guarantee it's not going to be those two for obvious reasons. But it could be somebody else. I'm just telling you. It could be. And it could be somebody older who doesn't give a shit anymore, right? Could be somebody that's up there, who's been around, just pissed off. Somebody's been around, just gets older and don't care anymore. And says, you know what? And I'm just telling you, could be. I don't know who that person could be, but could be. All right. Yeah. Tulsi, what's up, Chicago? Send me a deep dish. I appreciate it. I'll take it with anchovies. I'm only kidding. Yeah. Vincent says, you knew all this. Oh. If anybody's seen this coming, come on. I didn't see this coming like this. But I did have a feeling that Epstein files was going to be worse than it. I had this. I didn't think it would be like this. I didn't think Trump would handle it like this. But it is a tough situation, guys, because if it's involving, allegedly, if it's possible that Jeffrey Epstein was a CIA or working for, one of those, I'm going to call him a rat, whatever you want to call him, a middle guy, and he had other people that are still alive, that are not behind bars, and they're on this list, and President Trump unravels that, then another possibility, today's the 1 year anniversary of Donald Trump's assassination attempt. He's also worried about him not being a husband, a father, and a grandfather. He's 79. He hopes to live for 20 more years. And I'm sure that's crossed his mind too. I'm just saying, guys, I want to throw everything out there possible. Everything out there possible. Somebody says Trump's protecting them. Now, when you say them, is it, Democrats, Republicans, Israel, Iran, Germany, Italy, prime ministers? Who are them? I'm just saying them. Who are them? All right. Let's see who we got over here. Yeah. But let's see. This could be fixed. This could be fixed, and this also, another story can come up, and this can be dissolved. Daniel, welcome in. I trust my president. Epstein's not dead. They say Elvis is not dead. That could be, could be. But for me, I think he's deceased. In my opinion, he's deceased. There's people who think he is alive, though. And there's people thinking that he was murdered. There's people think he took his life. But the main thing is this. They don't have to tell us every person on that list. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate it. I don't think they need to tell us everybody on that list, but they do need to say there is a connection with Epstein. And I quote, he did not act alone. And there's other men and women who participated on Epstein's island many times. They could do that. And I heard his lawyer, Epstein's lawyer, what was his lawyer's name? Can somebody put that in the chat? I just got a brain freeze here. There's another possibility there too with that lawyer I can't think of. Epstein's lawyer. Because he can, by law, he's legally, he can't release the list. But I don't know. I forget his name and I forget how old he is. There's other ways they can get that list or at least information on that list. Information. And what the hell's that lawyer's name? Let me look him up. Dershowitz. Yeah, Dershowitz. That's it. Dershowitz or something like that. Yeah, I'm probably butchering that name. No disrespect. Dershowitz. Thank you, Jason. Thank you very much. Dershowitz. Yeah. See, he could be, there's ways around. He can go ahead and give that out. I mean, this is a big thing. This is not your regular, crime. This is huge. This is involving 1,000 children and many more. Dershowitz. I appreciate that. That was driving me nuts. Thank you. So, I'll read a couple more comments here. I really hope. I really hope that we can work this out. I'm hoping. Dershowitz is what is that? Yeah, that's funny. That's funny. I read that about the hat. Not my hat. That's funny. It's kind of funny. Now, Dorsch. What's up, Vincent? Yeah. Musk even said Trump's on the... Oh, thank you, Lemon J. God bless you, Lemon J. Dershowitz and is 86 years old. Thank you for telling me that. I tell you why. Lemon J, he's 86 years old. And they're not exposed to... They're supposed to keep everything classified. Give us the names. Send an Italian over his way and make him an offer he can't refuse. He's 86 years old. Give us the names. But see, here's the problem with that. If that went over and got the names before Trump gave out information, period, holy shit. Oh my goodness. We'd be in, I don't know if I want that. You know what? I take that back. That could be a mess for all of us. Then I don't even want to say on here what could happen. All right, let's continue. Use your imagination. Yeah, it's the biggest desk I can find. I went over to Ashley's furniture store, and I said, hey, I need a desk in my office. And they said, this is all we have. So they sent me this desk, and anyhow, that's what it is. Yeah, this stuff, guys, could be, it's going to be one big circle. At the end of the day, here's what's probably going to happen. What I like to happen is a ceasefire. Or what I really like to happen is Trump to not apologize because he can't. The president will not apologize. What I'd like to see is, well, number one, a ceasefire, because that stops, that eliminates kids from dying. And that regains Trump's trust. Now, I know a lot of yous on here are still with Trump and you got his trust. I'm just being... just want to be honest with you. It's lost a lot of trust in people and in politics in general. So the biggest way to let this kind of evaporate would be a ceasefire, number one, or number two, the assassination attempt on his own life, to come out and give that information. And if he followed up with JFK, that won't happen though. You're not going to see that. Then that would let this go. If he doesn't do one of those three, and he doesn't come live this week, and I hate to say this, just make something up real quick, something. Come up and say, there's people involved. I can't give out the names because of this. If he said that, if he just said what I said, I just want to say this. We looked into this. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, we looked into it deeper. Don't fire Pam. Stay with me. We looked into this. There's names that we're trying to unravel. We have to be very, careful or something like that. And just drag it on. I don't know why nobody's giving them any kind of advice. My goodness, what the hell happened? And there's another possibility, and that other possibility would be the Democrats end up screwing themselves over and over, but it would have to be a big, 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 big screw up again, like something big. Who would verify that list? Interesting, yes. Need somebody to verify it. Who the hell would want to verify it? Great comment, Ozzy. I think that's the first high five fist bump tonight, yeah. Smart man, yeah. Maribel says, me. You won't have a husband anymore. You won't have a husband. Diddy? Yeah. And then they can bribe Diddy. I mean, we can go on and on and on. I mean, we're laughing, but we're not laughing, let's just hope that, you know what I hope for, guys? I wish that we can see these powerful pieces of shit. I called it out. Piece of shit, scumbags, men, occasionally a woman, that have power and money to do these horrific crimes with young children. I don't like it. Just because they get a little power, a little money, they think they can get away with it. And then the government and CIA and FBI, you guys trust the FBI and CIA? Give me a break. They think they're perfect? Hell no, they're not perfect. I don't trust any of them either. I don't trust them. Just hope that we can get a grip of this nation. Well, we do have a grip of this nation. What the hell am I talking about? But you know what I mean. Get some truth. Nuts what's happening now. Really is in this world. It's like one thing after another. Conspiracy. Yeah, I'm not a big, I never was a big conspiracy, but I am a big, strong person on cover-ups, and the government cannot be trusted. Never. They never can be trusted. We've had some great presidents and great decision making, and Trump, but it comes down to, they're just, and a number of, in this situation, no, I just called out Trump on his words afterwards, but it's tough decisions, on his life and on us and everything else. Dude, stop making excuses for Trump. Where the hell you been? Where the hell you been for an hour and a half? I don't know. Maybe you're eating dinner. I don't know. I'm not making any excuses for Trump. I'm just bringing out all angles. What's up, Elon? I don't know where you were for the first 25, 30 minutes. HS says 619 ex-Israel. Yeah, Israel. I'm just going to say this. I don't trust Netanyahu. I don't trust that man. I read people I don't trust him. Never did. Never will. I'm not saying it wasn't the right decision on Iran. Don't mix it all up. It was the right decision. It's good that they're on a ceasefire. I don't trust him. Okay? I watched him last night on, help me out, Fox, what the hell was that show called? Losing track of names here. Mark Levin. I was watching on Mark Levin last night. I said, I smell a rat on this guy. I don't trust him at all. But that's just my opinion. Yeah. So, it's hard to trust any politician. And by the way, when I say I don't trust him, I just don't trust his people around him. So. Jeanette, appreciate that. Thank you so much. Appreciate the gifted memberships. Thank you so much. And 100% goes to fight homelessness here in Las Vegas. So, Jeanette, you get a high five fist bump, my friend. Appreciate that. Very nice of you. Trump's the goated forever. Mike says thumbs up. Mike, 193 likes. That's not bad. Thank you very much for one of your likes, Mike, and for being here on this live, important broadcast tonight on this Sunday. I appreciate everybody. I am still 100,000% with Trump because who else do we trust? But he's got to regain some trust back because there's a lot of people right now who have a problem with it, and big names and big supporters, big names out there. And for those who are coming in, well, Sal, he's president twice. Nothing can happen. We had midterms, and midterms are more important than you think, ladies and gentlemen. If you are a conservative on here, are you worried about the midterms? Yes or no? If you are a MAGA or a Trump supporter or a Republican, conservative, are you worried about midterms? And I'll explain to you how important it is in a few minutes. Are you worried about the midterms? Man, the midterms already? Real soon. About a year? Let's see here. Debbie French with the floating heart. Debbie, thank you so much. I appreciate all your donations and love on here. Thank you so very much. I appreciate all MAGA. I appreciate all Trump supporters, all independents, Democrats. I appreciate all comments. These are my thoughts on my theory, what Trump needs to regain the trust of American people so we can continue doing the great things that Donald J. Trump has done in 6 months, more than any president. He's entitled to a few mistakes, ladies and gentlemen. Please don't read through me. He's entitled. But I think this is a bigger mistake than a lot of people realize because, again, I've said this multiple times. I have no problem saying it again. Involving children. When involving children and being back and forth, it shows that you're not exactly sure how you're going to come out with it. Because he did run a campaign to back all my MAGA up and Democrats up. He did run a campaign on, we will find out answers. So, If he would have run a campaign, did not mention that, then we probably wouldn't even be having this conversation today on this Sunday. And then he had his chance yesterday to come out. Everything that was on there, I'm not going to read the whole article, but again, when nobody cares, using those words nobody, it wasn't a good words to choose. In my opinion. That's just my opinion. So. Mickey, very concerned. Yeah, my everything froze up here, guys. Who else is concerned about midterms right now? Anybody else concerned or no? Trump and Epstein did very bad things to everybody, knows it 100%. Well, we don't know that. So that you know, we don't know that because there's no list, right? So that's your opinion. So, but that's okay. But you did say 100%. Anyhow, let's continue. Yeah, I think it's going to mess the midterms up for right now. And my wife says yes. Yeah, something has to change, or we're not going to get the midterms. Diddy 28. Tariff tax on Canada, Mexico. Somebody put yes. California sucks. Absolutely. Democrats could lose more. 2 more likes we hit. Whoa. We get to 2. Thank you, Mike. Not going to read that comment. And when I say I'm not going to read that comment, it's not that I have a problem with it. YouTube might. So I'm not going to. Appreciate that. Thank you. Well, you're not listening very closely, John. Midterms is a problem if you want to save America. If you want socialism, then you don't, right? I think you're misunderstanding me. Kids are very important. So you need to rephrase that. Or did I read it wrong? Maybe I read it wrong. Why would you support Trump? Because I'm a Trump, because he saved America. He saved all of us for us to even be sitting here, and common sense, protecting our borders, and you name it. And we can go on and on. Trump works his ass off. Yep. But this time he worked his ass off a little too fast. Only my opinion, guys. Who the hell am I? Trump ain't safe shit. Thank you, Lemon J. Donald's Hitler, Trump. Welcome in. Trump is worse. Okay. He saved us from, he saved us because we'd be in a whole, we don't want to go there. You know what's funny is, well, not funny, but interesting is, Kamala is still leading the Democrat Party? She is still on top of the list. Hard to believe. I looked into that. If you Google, Kamala is still, for the Democrat, she's still up there. And then I think second was AOC, and Jerry Shapiro was third. I don't know. There was those names were on there. So, yeah. Guys, we know this. Let me just say this. The Democrat Party of now, of 4 years, disgrace, was not run by a president. A. B. Trump won because he cared and lead us into a better solution and care for Americans. Stay with me. Let me continue. Please, don't put words in my mouth like CNN. Kamala, you're fired. Get the hell out of here. Now, where's Too Beautiful? So now, you even hear Trump say now, it wasn't even Biden's fault. I mean, if you think about it, Biden wasn't even there. Maybe the first 6 months. So we know that system doesn't work. The new system is worse because you have people like AOC and Cory Booker who encourage blood on the streets, so to speak. encourages these protests, not even protests, violent protests, riots, so to speak, and you know, free, illegals getting everything, homeless people not getting anything, just bad. And there's not one Democrat, except for maybe Pete Buttigieg, he's the only one, who's actually making a little sense. All right, and make it clear, I would never vote for him. I'm just saying a little sense, right? Maybe 2 or 3 other Democrats, but you get the message. Majority of them are just going way off to the left. They're nuts. And socialism. I mean, look at the mayor. It's why I'm so mad, because I want Trump to hand it off and continue the success that Donald Trump has had in 6 months. I want the next president, whoever it might be, he or she. I always say Marco Rubio. It could be somebody else. It could be a female. But somebody who is for America. It could be a Democrat. I don't know. Probably not right now. Probably going to be a Republican. But if we continue on this route, ladies and gentlemen, we will not have a Democrat. We will not have a Republican. Certainly won't have a Trump. We will have a third party. 100%. It could happen because Elon's got trillions of dollars. He's powerful. He's well liked. Not from you or me as much anymore. Good stock right now, by the way, in Tesla. So be careful. August and September will be epic in my opinion. You know, you could be right, Lemon J. You could be right. I'm not just saying that. You could be very well correct. Musk is not well liked. By you, by me, but there's people who still like Elon. If you trust Elon in the chat, yes or no? Yes or no? Would you be behind Elon Musk? And I don't mean him running for president, but his team. Yes or no? No? Yes? I hate to say it, but no? Trust him over Trump? Let's continue. Could he be the third party? And I don't mean him as a president, but his team. You know, mixed? No. Janine says no. Angel says no. Ulam says no. Vehicle, how are you? No. Ocean says yes. Interesting. No. Trump is a PDF. Split. I trust Trump. Jesus Christ is our Lord. Amen. Yes. So it's mixed, you know. And that's just on here with 217. I should have asked that when we had more. So there you go. I mean, you know. So I'm just saying, people think that there's not going to be a third party. Anything's possible. Panda, how are you? Debbie says no. Anything's possible. You know, I'm just putting that out there. I got to tell you this, though, guys. For some reason or another, and I don't think it will, but if it continues and it gets closer and closer, if this would happen, if we had, I'll just say this. Thank you for 203 likes. Appreciate it. If we were having the same conversation in 2027, 1 year from the new president, then, ladies and gentlemen, in my opinion, you could possibly have a third party. But Americans have a short memory. The way we are, we have a short memory. We remember, people forget the gas was blow too. We forget on how good Trump was before. You know, we forget things like this. Unfortunately, we should never forget kids or any of these horrific crimes. I'm not saying that, but we have a short memory. So, Sandra, how are you? Thank you for the membership. Appreciate you being here. Now, if you were a member and somebody supported you as a membership, make sure you let them know thank you. I think Debbie did tonight. Crystal's done many times, and a few others. So we appreciate all the memberships, and we can pass that along to the homeless here on this channel. Is when we can, we help out the homelessness as much as we can. Tucker Carlson for president. That's a possibility. That's a strong possibility, and I believe it was Lemon J or Ozzy or both or Crystal or all three who said that before a couple lives ago. Tucker could make a strong presence in being the president. I'm not sure I'd vote for him, but he could make a president. What is he? 56 years old? Good age. So yeah, maybe. Maybe. Joe Rogan for president? I can't see him as president. He does great on his podcast. He's good. But for president, I don't know. I don't think Tucker wants part of it. Yeah, it almost sounds like sometimes he does, if you listen to him, Ozzy. And then other times, maybe. So, Elon is pissed. His giggles, yeah, he has those giggles. It's funny. I was watching his podcast and somebody said that in his chat. So, Donnie is pissed. Who's that? Donnie Osmond? Yeah. Uncle Charlie. What do you say? What do you know? What do you hear? Your pool as a background is nice. Yeah, I like to change. It's too hot out there right now, Tucker. Flinner. Sorry, Flinner. I apologize, Detroit. It's too hot. Yeah, I'll be jumping in the pool. I jumped in the pool earlier. I'll be jumping in again tonight. Yeah, absolutely, Ozzy. Robert, how are you? No trust. What's up, Paisano? Gomezigana. How are you? Flinner, I apologize. I called you Tucker. I'm sorry. It's been a long live and get names mixed up sometimes. But I will be jumping in the pool. Yeah. Flinner says, hello, everybody. Celebrating 1 year memberships, by the way. Flinner, thank you very much. 1 year. Amazing. Appreciate that too, Flinner. Thank you so much. Greg, how are you, Greg? So did Trump betray MAGA? Ask. Anybody want to respond to that other than me? That was a fair question. Cory Booker for president, it won't happen. He cries. Once he cried, Cory Booker, he cried. When somebody cries, it's over. Cory Booker cried the other, and he's just rattles on too long. Not to mention his issues, but I'm just saying as a Democrat, he cries. And he's cried. No fake crying. He really cried. Ain't nothing wrong with crying, but presidents don't cry. Oh, good. Yeah. I'm reading comments here. Yeah. Bondi betrayed MAGA. Pam Bondi. You know, Sandra, yes and no. I think she just wanted, in my opinion, I think she just wanted to go on different news stations. I think she was just confused. Here's what happened. Pam Bondi was not getting full instructions with Trump because Trump was so focused on everything else that was important to America, right? Most recently, Iran, taking out their nukes. And still working on ICE and getting these people back and getting them over legally, right? As well as our economy. He's moving in so many directions, working on, peace, FEMA, and most recently FEMA in Texas. And I think, in my opinion, the communication between Pam Bondi, and I'm not defending her, and Trump was not there. And I think she loved being on the news, on Fox. And I think she said some things that she probably should have said. I think I lost connection. You probably guys didn't get any of that. I don't know. But I think we were talking about Pam Bondi. I think she was unsure of herself. Pam Bondi was unsure of herself and wasn't getting instructions from Donald Trump that she was hoping for. And I think Bongino, who's smart, MAGA, called her out. That's what happened, guys. Okay? And Kash Patel, I don't know where he was the whole time. And that's what happened, guys. That's exactly what happened. Not in that order, but she loved having the fame and wasn't sure on how to discuss the list. But at this point, I'd just be happy, most of us, on information. Yes or no? Do you want just information? Wouldn't it be nice to have information from the government for once? Wouldn't we love to have information? Don't we deserve that? Or no? Don't we deserve information from the government? Yes, there's UFOs. No, there's no UFOs. I'm just saying. Yes, JF Kennedy was gunned down by the mob was behind it. No, the mob had nothing to do with it. It was the CIA. Yes, the 20-year-old assassination on 1 year ago on Donald Trump was involved with Iranians. No, it was no Democrat, Republican. All we want is information. As far as the Epstein, yes, there was kids involved. Thank you so much. Great live. Thank you. I appreciate that. That means a lot to me, Tess. Yes, we want to know about my information on who was behind the assassination attempt. Iranians or no? Yes or no? Tell us something. Martin Luther King, same thing. Information on the assassin. We want to know that assassination. That should be important, Sherry. The assassination of these great leaders and presidents, John F. Kennedy, support him or not. Martin Luther King, great man, all this stuff. We want to know. Give us. Don't leave us out. We are Americans. We are independent. We are MAGA. We are Republican. We are a Democrat. We are people and trust our government for answers on these. We don't need to know every detail on how we're going to take out Iran and their nukes. We don't need to know the next step on peace. We don't need to know how you're going to handle Putin. We don't need that until you do it. We deserve answers on this mess. And I don't believe that Trump was on that list at all. But I got to tell you, the more that's not exposed on information, people will doubt that always. You understand? I will not. But people will always have that doubt that it's possible. It's always possible. People, and the way the mind is, no, me either, Debbie, but the way the humans' minds are, people always have some doubt on people being around. Oh, come here. Who's that?
Hi, Basil.
Basil. I got basil here. I got a little basil. Who wants some basil? Anybody want some basil?
And papaya.
Yeah. Trump.
Say hi.
Trump. Trump.
That other one is out like nothing. I don't know. He opened it. I don't even.
No, not Biden. Biden. Trump.
Say hi.
Trump. Trump.
That other one is jealous.
Elon Musk. Too hard to say.
Say hi, Crystal. Hi.
How about trust? Trust in America. American.
Those my babies. The other one is
Trump.
like, you can get it out. The other one bites. You hear
Trump.
it? He know I'm coming with
You
it.
love Trump? Want Trump? Why? You're live. You're live now. Hit the like if you love the birds.
My babies, it take all my time.
You love the birds?
Come here, babies. Let's go sleep pretty soon.
Look at this guy looking for likes with the parrots. Forget about it. What's next? What the hell's next on YouTube? All right. Oh, can I? All right. I asked the boss what's going on over here. So I still got a few more minutes. Janine, thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you for all the work the moderators do. It's an honor, a privilege. I appreciate you all. We're also, Maribel's going to be, we're going to be giving out some more Trump merchandise real soon. Yes, we have Trump to give out. Coffee for those who particularly don't want Trump. So we'll have a little bit of both. And our future lives. Yeah, they got big. Isn't that funny, Lemon J? The birds get big. We get big. I can't even fit in these pants anymore. What the hell am I doing over here? Eating. Getting all these photos from Crystal and Ozzy and Uncle Greg. All this food I start eating. I really appreciate you guys being here, guys. I try to keep it real, give you my perspective and my thoughts. Doesn't mean they're all going to be correct. Things can unfold any hour, any minute. And I'm just aggravated because I want Trump to secede, and I think he will. I hope that he can watch this channel. I'm really small, but hopefully he watches Tucker or somebody, Joe, and I don't know, and he can actually think of a different way on using his words, or maybe somebody's using words for him. Maribel, my wife, says he does look a little tired. Do you think Trump looks tired? He looks a little tired lately. Yes or no? Does Trump look tired? Not sick. Don't not add words like saying, does Trump look a little tired? Looks a little tired. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'll wait to hear some response on that tiredness. It is a tough job. Mike says yes. Tom says yes. Very tired. Saying, yeah, he looks tired. I'm seeing tired. Yeah. Yes. Sherry says yes. Janine says yes. Angel R, welcome in. Yes. Emmanuel, I love the name. Thanks for coming back. Tired. I don't know about sick. Maybe Emmanuel. I love your name. Maybe. I say definitely tired. He looks like a coward. I disagree on that comment. But at the end of the day, I still trust Trump over anybody else. And in the situation that he's in, it's a tough situation. I'm not making excuses. I already called him out for almost an hour and a half. Not calling him out, trying to make sense of all this. I'm aggravated as much as I can. A lot of people are aggravated. There's someone here who are not aggravated, and that's fine. But I still think, yes or no, are we still in a better situation? Let's do this. Are we still in a better situation with Donald? Everything we just discussed for 2 hours. Yes or no? Are we still in a better situation with Trump than any other president? I'm not going to say Democrat, but any other president. Yes. Sandra says right off the bat, yes. Scott says yes. There's a couple of no's. JC says yes. Osby Crosby says yes. Janine says yes. Steve, thanks for being here. Yes. Gurm says no. Yes. Anton says no. Sherry says yes. Heck no. Interesting. Ozzy says hell yes. And Angel R says yes. So I'm going to back it up with yes, because if any other president it was in this situation right now, it would be a lot worse. So yes. Palon says yes. Barbara, how are you, Barbara? Yes. Good to see you in here. So all we can do, guys, is pray, hope for the best, pray. First of all, we pray for the children that were affected in this and the families that are going through this. And by the way, have to hear this stuff. Think about that. And then also let's pray for Texas. There's more. What a terrible, terrible storm there in Texas, and finding more bodies, unfortunately, that are deceased. Debbie Farron says yes. Debbie, thank you for that membership. Appreciate all your comments and standing with Trump. Mother Nature, but Trump did get FEMA money there, and hopefully it won't bring back the lives, but help the people that were destroyed going forward. Texas is very strong. They are tough people there, and they will respond to that and overcome that. More hurricanes coming, yeah. More hurricanes, yeah. Unfortunately, this is hurricane season, but I couldn't imagine any other president right now in a situation that was handed to him on a plate that he's taking. But again, I will say this one last final time. If Trump would have a ceasefire between Russia and Ukraine in this week or next week, and then that would never, ever erase the horrific crimes by Jeffrey Epstein or anybody else that might be participating in that. But it will let this kind of this evaporate. And I still believe Trump should come out. Yes or no? Let's end this like this. Yes or no? Should Trump come on TV this week and not apologize, but reword, change his wording? Yes or no? Come out and just something better than I don't care. Or they, excuse me, he never said I don't care. I stand corrected. That people don't care about Epstein, or we don't care. We don't, whatever. Yes, okay, yes, that's what I thought. Yes. And I'm sure there's going to be some no's, and that's fine. I think yes, it would help out. Yes, Hector says yes. Yeah, I think that would be logical to do that. And again, not to apologize, but just come out and rephrase. There's what I was going to rephrase what he said. Yeah. Hector says no. Yeah. Thank you for your comment, Hector. I appreciate you. Yeah. Aaron, nice. Thank you for being here, Aaron. All right, guys. Thank you so much for this live. Appreciate it. 214 likes. Well, we had another great live. I appreciate all my loyal subscribers, older subscribers, new subscribers. Thank you for all the new subscribers, and I appreciate the debate back and forth a little bit. I'm just a YouTube channel who have my opinion on this, and I do because I study this again. I care for Trump, want the MAGA to do well. I want the American people to do well, not just MAGA. I want all of us to do well. And not be lied to, and get us in a better direction, which Trump is on most part. Thank you so very much for being here tonight on this 2-hour plus live. Moderators, I'm sorry this went a little longer than normal. And share the video when you can. Like the video or don't like it. Support your other YouTube channels when you can. Spend time with yourself, your spouse, your partner, your kids, and your grandkids. It's very important to do that before you go on social media. I'm out of here, guys. God bless. Thank you so much. Appreciate you guys. Take care. Your phone's ringing. It's Trump. Trump's upset at me. Trump's calling me. Hello, Mr. Trump. What the hell's going on? You want me to... All right. I'll see you guys. Take care.